Good morning, friends. Welcome to the next lecture of functional analysis. In today's lecture, we are going to understand next concept of isometry, isometric isomorphism, and topological isomorphism, and some important theorems related to the concepts. Right. And now, first definition we will try to understand is isometry. The meaning of the word isometry, or rather, we can divide this given word isometry into two parts: iso plus metry. The first meaning iso is same. Meaning of the word iso is same. That of meaning of the second word is measurement, as in geometry. Measurement as in geometry. Okay. Therefore, combinedly, the meaning of the word isometry will be same measurement as in geometry. Right. That is, it may preserve a distance, it may preserve the length, and so on. Okay. Let us look at the definition. Definition is, if n and n dash are the nonlinear spaces, a mapping T from n to n dash is an isometry if norm T of x is equal to norm of x for every x in n. Okay. Here the definition is norm T of x is equal to norm of x. We'll try to understand how this definition is going to work. Okay. Suppose this is a non-linear space n. The mapping T works here. Okay. And this is my codomain, say n dash. What about norm of x? X be some vector in the domain space. Somewhere here be the origin. Right. Then norm x is giving us the distance between the two vectors, norm of x. Okay. Now let us apply a T image on this x. Somewhere here will be our vector T of x, and somewhere here let it be the origin, say 0 dash of the non-linear space n dash, and let this is nothing but a distance. For the sake of convenience, I am showing you the distances between the 2 points to be straight line. Therefore, this is my norm of x. Now, according to the definition, this mapping T will be an isometry if norm T of x is equal to norm of x for every x in it. That is, this distance 0 to x is very equal, or is exactly equal to this distance 0 to T of x. Therefore, this is a same distance. The vector is preserving the same distance from the origin, and its T image is also having the same distance. Okay. If we want to understand this by taking any two vectors, norm Tx for any two vectors, say x and y, then let me start with norm Tx minus norm Ty equal to T of x minus y, because the mapping T is linear. And according to this definition, norm T of x is equal to norm of x. This norm T of x minus y is equal to norm of x minus y. Therefore, norm Tx minus norm Ty, norm Tx minus Ty is equal to norm of x minus y. Okay. One can show this here as, say, this is a domain space. X and y be any two vectors in a domain, say n. Okay. T image is applied, and here the corresponding images be, let it be Tx and Ty in the nonlinear space n dash. According to our remark, norm x minus y is giving us this much of distance between the two vectors x and y, that is, and that of norm Tx minus Ty will give us this distance. Okay. And according to definition, according to this remark, distance between these two vectors x and y is exactly equals to distance between their corresponding T images. That is, the mapping T preserves a distance. It gives us the same distance as that is in x and y, between Tx and Ty. That's why the name is isometry. If someone wants to understand the examples of isometry, then we know, let us start by assuming a translation mapping, right? I think all of you are familiar with the translation mapping. What is translation mapping? The mapping f defined by f of x is equals to x plus a. A fixed a vector, or a fixed vector a is added to a vector x, then the mapping is called as a translation. We will try to understand this by in R1 space, that is on a real line. On a real line. if I consider this to be a real line, let me consider this constant to be say 2. Okay, let us fix out the distances. Suppose these are the two vectors under the consideration, x and y. What about their corresponding fx and fy images? Say somewhere here is x plus 2, that of somewhere here be y plus 2. This x plus 2 is nothing but f of x, that of y plus 2 is nothing but f of y. Now what we want to find out? The distance between x and y and x plus 2 and y plus 2. Let us find out the distance between this x and y with a norm function. What about distance between the distance between these two elements is given by norm of x minus y. What about the distance between these two f images? This is norm of x plus 2 minus y plus 2. But we know that this 2 will get cancelled, and which will again give us norm of x minus y. That is, distance between the two vectors x and y is same as distance between their corresponding f images. That is, the translation mapping in R1 space is an isometry. It possesses the same distance in the f images. Okay, now if someone wants to explain this in an R2 space, how can one explain? In R2, if I define the f of x mapping to be some x plus a vector, and the vector a, no doubt it is a member of R2, therefore let me take the vector a as 1 1. Say one can easily find out the distance between the two vectors. Okay, let us mark some points here for the sake of understanding. This is 1 2 3 4, say 5 and 6. Okay, and somewhere here we will again mark those points 1 2 3 4 and 5. First vector here I will take x vector as say 1 1, x vector as 1 1, and here I will take a vector say 2 2. Therefore where is my 2 2 location? Somewhere here is my 2 2 location. This is x and this is y. Okay, therefore what is the distance between the two vectors? We know how to find out the distance between the two vectors, d of xy, by using the distance formula, shortest distance. Now 2 minus 1 bracket square, this is 1 square, 2 minus 1 bracket square, 1 square, 1 square, this is 1 plus 1, this is root 2. Okay, now let us find out the distance between their corresponding f images. What are the f images of those two elements? First f image of x. What will be f image of x? X I have taken as 1 1. Therefore what is my image? 1 1. A fixed vector I have taken 1 1 again. Therefore this is say 2 2. Right, means this is a position of our f of x. Right, now what about f of y? F of y, y is we have taken to be 2 2, and what is the added vector? 1 1. Therefore resultant element we will get is 3 3. Therefore where is the location of 3 3? Here will be a location of a vector 3 3, and this will be fy. Now we'll find out the distance between fy and f of x. Okay, what is the coordinate for fy? Coordinate of fy is 3 3. Coordinate of fx is say 2 2. And what is the distance between these two vectors? Fx and fy. What is the distance? By again the distance formula, 3 minus 2, 1 square plus 1 square, this is again root 2. Here we have observed very easily, distance between x and y is exactly same as distance between their corresponding f images, right? Therefore these are the examples of isometry. That is, one can say translation in any space defined with this formula, f of x is equals to x plus a is an isometry. Okay, now another example of isometry is rotation. Okay, what kind of rotation? Suppose we are considering this to be an R2 space. Okay, this is my R2 space, this is x axis and this is y axis, and let me consider this two elements, say x vector and y vector. Now what is our job? We want to rotate this. We want to rotate this R2 plane by some suitable angle. Therefore what will be a location of the new x axis, x and y axis? Here this will be a location, right? Say this is new x, let me call x dash. This is new y, let me call y dash. Therefore accordingly the two vectors x and y will be rotated. But with this rotation, we can easily observe that there is no effect on the distance between the two vectors x and y. Therefore, rotation is also a good example of isometry. Okay. Now, these are some simple examples we have seen. The another example we know is reflection. If we have a mirror, say, and this is a triangle, if I have, the corresponding mirror image will be like this. Okay. Therefore, this reflection is an isometry, but this is called as an opposite isometry because these two are the these two figures are opposite to one line. Therefore, this is called as an opposite isometry. Now, I think the meaning of the definition isometry is somewhat clear to all of you, right? Therefore, let us come to a next definition of isometric isomorphism. Isometric isomorphism. Okay, now we are familiar with the word isomorphism. In group theory already we have defined. In group theory, suppose two groups G and G dash are said to be isometrically isomorphic, or there exists an isomorphism if there exists if it satisfies two conditions. The mapping satisfies, the mapping G to G dash satisfies two conditions, homomorphism, and the mapping is 1 1, right? Let us check what are the conditions in this non-linear spaces, right? Therefore, here the mapping is said to be isometric isomorphism as per the definition is an isometry T from n to n dash is said to be isometric isomorphism if T is linear and 1 1. Okay, now here linear, whenever we say the word linear, we know that T preserves addition, that is T of x plus y is equal to Tx plus Ty. Similarly, T of alpha x is equals to alpha times T of x. These are the properties of linearity. If you look very carefully, T preserves both the operations defined on the corresponding linear space, addition and scalar multiplication. Therefore, these two conditions can be considered like homomorphisms as of in the group theory. Therefore, the mapping is isomorphism if the mapping T is linear and 1 1. Where in group theory we have written this is homomorphism and 1 1, right? Then the linear space N is said to be isometrically isomorphic to N dash if there exists isometric isomorphism of N onto N dash. The mapping should be onto, then the two linear spaces are isometrically isomorphic. We are familiar with the concept isomorphic. The two groups are isomorphic, the two rings are isomorphic. Same concept we are extending to the linear spaces. Okay, therefore the two linear spaces are isomorphic if the mapping between the two spaces is linear and 1 1. Okay, and one point we have added here that it is isometry also. Therefore, this is called as isometrically isomorphic if there exists isometric isomorphism. Okay, this is what a concept we have between the definition isometric isomorphism. Okay, therefore one can say according to this remark that n and n dash are congruent. The word instead of isometric isomorphism, there is another word we are using is, here is the two spaces n and n dash are congruent. The two spaces n and n dash are congruent, isometrically isomorphic or congruent. Okay, therefore as per this remark, the two linear spaces are congruent. It is then it is necessary and sufficient that there exists a linear operator with a domain n and a range t such that T inverse exists, and norm Tx is equals to norm of x. This is isometry. We know as per the definition, this is isometry. And whenever T inverse exists, we know that for the existence of mapping T inverse, we should have T is 1 1. Therefore, whenever T inverse exists, we should have a guarantee that the mapping T is 1 1 and the mapping T is given to be linear. Therefore, all the conditions satisfies linearity, 1 1 and isometry. Then the two spaces are said to be isometrically isomorphic. Okay, one more point. Here we are saying range is n dash. If the range of the mapping is n dash, means the mapping is surely onto. Therefore, all the conditions are satisfied. That is linear, 1 1 isometry, the mapping is onto, right? Therefore, this is the alternative condition that T inverse exists with an isometry. Okay. Now we will come to our next definition of equivalent norms. Okay. Now we know that norm is just a formula for finding the distance of the given vector from the origin or the distance between the two vectors of the given linear spaces. Now one can define number of norms on a linear space. Okay. Therefore, if suppose on a given norm linear space there are two different norms defined, then we are going to find out the condition that when the two norms will be equivalent to one another. Okay, let us have a look to the definition. Let L be a linear space is made into a norm linear space in two different ways, and the norms defined as norm x and norm dash of x. Okay, then the two norms are said to be equivalent if they generate same topology. If they generate same topology. Okay, we'll try to understand the meaning of the word. What is same topology? What is same topology? Previously, while starting the topic, we have shown that every norm is a metric. We have shown that every norm is a metric. That is, norm is one kind of metric. Therefore, every normed linear space is a metric space. Every normed linear space is a metric space. And also, we know the fact that every metric space is one kind of topology. Every metric space is one kind of topology, and topology is the collection of subsets of a linear space satisfying certain condition. Arbitrary union of open sets is open, finite intersection of open sets is open. That conditions we know, that we have studied in detail in the paper of general topology in your semester 2. Okay, therefore here also whenever we are saying norm is one kind of metric, therefore norm also induces one kind of metric topology. Norm also induces a metric topology. Okay, therefore whenever we have two norms defined on the same linear space, they should generate same topology. Meaning of the word generating same topology, in every metric space, due to that metric there is a concept of finding the open set. The metric is giving an idea to find out the metric open sets in the corresponding metric space. Whenever the two norms generate same metric, that is they generate same topology, the two norms are said to be equivalent. Same to be equivalent. Actually, same topology means we are equating two sets which are the collection of all subsets of the linear space. And we know two sets are equal if the number of elements are equal and the elements are same. Okay. Actually, also one can say that every metric space can be given a metric topology in which the basic open sets are open balls defined by the corresponding metric, and this is a standard topology on any metric spaces. We know the standard topology defined on R is generated by open intervals. That of usual topology on Rn spaces is generated by open balls. Okay. Therefore, the two norms are said to be equivalent if and only if they generate same topology. If and only if they generate same topology, right? Let us come to the next definition of topological isomorphism. We'll first have a look on the definition. The two norm linear spaces n and n dash are said to be topologically isomorphic if there are three conditions. First, there exists a linear operator T from n to n dash having inverse T inverse. Second condition, T establishes the isomorphism between n to n dash. Third condition, T and T inverse are continuous on their respective domains. T and T continuous are T and T inverse are continuous on their respective domain. This means that n and n dash are topologically isomorphic if there exists homeomorphism. I will not come to that homeomorphism. First, we'll try to understand what is the meaning of these definition. There exists a linear operator T from n to n dash having T inverse. T establishes the isomorphism and T inverse are continuous on the respective domains. Okay. Now, we have studied one theorem in our graduation level itself, that whenever a mapping T is continuous, whenever a mapping T is continuous, okay, suppose T is defined from X to Y, okay, then for every open set, G in Y, its inverse image, what will be the inverse image? Say T inverse G must be open in X, this is what a theorem we have studied. Now here we have a mapping T from n to n dash where both T and T inverse are continuous. Apart from this, T is linear, no doubt. Okay. And what is the third condition we have seen? T linear. What? Let us recall. T linear. T establishes isomorphism and T and T inverse are continuous. Whenever I am saying T establishes an isomorphism, means the mapping T must be 1, 1. The mapping T must be 1, 1. Therefore, here we will add one condition, 1, 1. Because 1, 1 is also essential for the existence of inverse of a mapping T also. Okay. Therefore, how many conditions are there in our hand? 1, 1. Linearity, T and T inverse are continuous. Now, we will look at this theorem and we will just try to understand how the definition is going to work or how it is going to give us the topological isomorphism between the two sets. Topology is actually dependent on the open sets of the corresponding linear space or the corresponding sets. Okay. In order to understand this, let us start with this non-linear space N. A mapping T is defined and here we have say N dash. Okay. Now T is continuous. What the condition is? Every open set G in N dash. Okay. For the sake of understanding, we will start with T to be an identity. First, we'll try to understand by identity mapping and then we will go for the general mapping T. Therefore, for every open set G in N dash, its inverse image. Now, what will be the inverse image? As I am considering T is an identity, its inverse must be an identity. That is, T inverse of G is nothing but G, and this G is open in N. This G is open in N. This is what I have used T continuous. Now let me use T inverse continuous. For T inverse continuous, we know that T inverse is a mapping from N dash to N. If the mapping is not onto, the mapping T is not onto, we can define this mapping, inverse on the range of T, say T of N. Therefore, T inverse is defined from T of N to N, say. Okay. If it is defined from T of N to N, let me start with H as an open set in N, then its inverse image. What will be an inverse image again? T inverse of T inverse. Therefore, this is H again, as we are taking an identity. Therefore, this is open in T of N, that is in N dash. Therefore, the simple concepts we have understood is G open in N implies and implied by G open in N dash. Similarly, H open in N dash implies and implied by H open in N. Right? That is open sets in N and open sets in N dash are same, are equal. Therefore, if the open sets is having, or if the open sets are same, they must generate same topology. If they generate same topology, the two spaces are topologically isomorphic. Okay, here why we are saying same open sets? Because the mapping T we have taken is an identity mapping. The mapping T we have taken is an identity mapping. That's why we are getting same. G is open in N, therefore G is open in N dash. What will happen if we don't have T as a identity mapping? Let me take a new page here. Okay, now if T is a mapping, just wait for a moment. I don't know why the pen is not working properly. Yeah, it's working. Okay. Now we will start with T to be an arbitrary mapping, not an identity mapping, right? If it is not an identity mapping, therefore again we will start with this is say N, the mapping T we have imposed, okay, and this is my N dash. This is my N dash. Okay. Now we will use T is continuous. Okay. If T is continuous, let me start with one TG as an open set in N dash. TG as an open set in N dash. As T is continuous, its inverse image. Now what will be the inverse image of T of G? T inverse of T of G is G. Okay. Therefore, here let me draw one G, which is open in N. Are you getting me? This is open in N, and here this is open in TG is open in N dash, and here the corresponding G is open in N. Okay. Now let us go reverse. Now we know that T inverse is a mapping. If it is not on 2, can be defined on T of N. And if it is defined on T of N, what I will do? I will start with some X. I will start with some G open in N. G open in N. What will be the inverse image? T inverse of T of G. T inverse, okay, wait. Here I will start with knowing T inverse is continuous. Okay, T inverse is a mapping. We know it is defined from T of N to N, right? T of N to N. For every G open in N, its inverse image will be, what is the inverse image we know? Inverse image of G will be T of G. Therefore, its inverse image will be T of G. T inverse T, as this is the element in T of N, the image we will get as T of G. Therefore, the corresponding G, T of G is open in N dash. Therefore, what kind of statement we have obtained? G open in X, open in N, implies and implied by T of G is open in N dash. T of G is open in N dash. If T of G is open in N dash, what it says that if there exists a relation between the open sets of the normed linear space N to the open sets in the normed linear space N dash, means there is a isomorphism between the two topologies. Therefore, the two linear spaces n and n dash are said to be topologically isomorphic. The two spaces are said to be topologically isomorphic. Okay. Therefore, this is what we have studied today. Three definitions: isometry, isometric isomorphism, and topologically isomorphism. If you have any kind of doubts, you can please put me in the message box. Thank you for watching today's lecture.